Let's assume that our ribbing pattern starts with a knit stitch, as it often happens, right? So we knit this first stitch as usual, no changes at all. And then we're gonna add a yarn over in front of every stitch before we bind those stitches off. But the yarn overs will be different. We'll add a regular yarn over in front of purls and reverse yarn overs in front of knits. Here's how we do it. So we see that the next stitch on the left needle is a purl. That means regular yarn over. So we bring the yarn to the front of the work, over the needle and to the back, and then we bring the yarn to the front again to purl the stitch. Then we insert the tip of the left needle from left to right into the yarn over and the stitch that we've just knitted. So we go left to right like this into these both stitches and pass them over the first stitch from the tip of the right needle and off the needle, binding them off. Then the next stitch is a knit. That means reverse yarn over. So we bring the yarn from the back over the needle and to the front and knit the stitch. And then we do the same thing. We insert the tip of the left needle into the yarn over and the stitch and pass these two guys over the first stitch from the tip of the right needle and off the needle, of course. Purl stitch, regular yarn over, purl a stitch and pass these two stitches over the first stitch from the tip of the right needle. And that's how it works. Just keep doing that. Knit stitch, reverse yarn over, knit a stitch and pass these two stitches over. It could be a little bit challenging to insert the needle into the reverse yarn over because it's oriented in a different way. There are two simple ways to fix this. First, you can go into the space between the yarn over and the first stitch before you move the needle a little bit to the right, going into the yarn over and the other stitch like this. Or you can do it from the back of the work. Just make sure that your needle is on top of the working yarn, not underneath it like this. So it should be over the yarn. And you insert the tip of the left needle, again from left to right, into the yarn over and the stitch. That way it's usually easier than going from the front. And then you pass these two stitches over the other stitch, just as we normally do when we bind off stitches. As you keep doing that until you bind off all stitches, you will see that this simple trick with changing the type of yarn over makes a huge difference. Now the bind off edge looks more in line with the ribbing than the edge formed by the regular yarn over bind off. See, this one looks simply like a chain of stitches sitting on top of the fabric, which is great for stockinette stitch, but it's not in pattern with ribbing. This variation looks much better on ribbing. And not just that, it also becomes reversible. So this bind off edge looks the same on both sides of the work, unlike the edge formed by the regular yarn over bind off. And this method works great not just for 1x1 ribbing, but also for any other type of ribbing. So here's a swatch made with 2x1 ribbing and a one made in 2x2 ribbing. See, the edge still looks nice, and changing the type of yarn over doesn't change the elasticity of the edge. All edges are very stretchy and they look great on all hems, and you can even use them for toe-up socks. That's how stretchy they are. To get the full tutorial about this bind-off method, go to 10roseday.com/nita-yarn-over-bind-off. Happy knitting, my friend. I'll talk to you in the next tutorial.